Think about your sleep schedule right now. Do you have any college classes that keep you stressed out and up late at night? Do you work a job and work overtime that leaves you too preoccupied to get a good night's rest? Or do you binge a TV show and deprioritize sleep overall? If none of these apply to you, you're actually in a minority because most young adults in America today deprioritize sleep more and more because they would rather keep busy or procrastinate instead of getting a good night's rest in the 7 to 8 hours that experts and doctors recommend across the board. So, in a time where health epidemics and health issues are increasing simultaneously as much as the lack of interest of sleep is increasing, it is more important now than ever to emphasize this problem and why it needs to change. Sleep is something we all need to function to our fullest, but young adults just keep deprioritizing it and treating it as some trivial activity. With technological devices, jam-packed schedules, and commonplace procrastination being more common, it is often seen that sleep is just put on the back burner, but this should not be the case, as we should all do our part to view our life and view how we need to sleep to work at our best. Now, I'm sure we all have at one point put off work to the last minute or stayed up doing a hobby or activity that we put sleep off for. It's only normal. But some of us might do this on occasion, while others of us do this on a day-to-day basis where it's hard to break. Regardless of where you are, it's important to understand the problem and how to change it in your life. With young adults from the ages of 18 to 30 being particularly bad in this area, we can break it down into three components and how we can make healthier sleep schedules. First, we need to address the issue and understand its negative consequences. Then we need to look at the tactics and strategies that we should implement in our lives to form better sleep habits. And then three, visualize how positive the outcome will truly be in your everyday life. But first, before change can be made, we need to actually address the issue, realize how to combat it, and why we should even care in the first place. Not getting enough sleep can really lead to many numerous negative long-term effects and can set us up for failure in completing our goals. As Harvey Kurten and Bruce Altevogt comment, Americans in the past century have decreased in their sleep amounts by 20%, and billions are spent in pharmaceutical companies and hospitals trying to keep up with the health issues that lack of sleep cause. And there are a lot of immediate effects such as car crashes and poor performance at work, but the long term can be much more detrimental. Tina Say also states that some people view sleep as time wasted, or the common phrase of "you can sleep when you die." But it actually turns out that mortality is more common when you put sleep on the back burner and don't give it the proper time that you need. Zilao Chen also, in a study, found that college students 17 to 24 in the US are 60% reported to be poor sleepers, and that these poor sleeping habits can lead to obesity, hypertension, cardiovascular disease, all which can be fatal in the end. And Larry Williams also comments about how diabetes mellitus you can also be put at risk for this disease much more if you don't sleep than if you do, because our body regulates glucose while we sleep and uses it as a fasting period. So if we don't sleep, then we don't get this time. Now, these are all things that we obviously want to avoid in life, but we need to look into all the plans and actions that we can actually implement in our lives. Once we realize and study all the things that we can change, we can see how to form a better healthy sleep habit. The National Adolescent and Young Adult Health Information Center, or the NAHIC, comments on sleep hygiene, or the various practices that you can implement to make your sleep at night better, such as going to bed and rising at the same time, avoiding caffeine 4 to 6 hours before sleep, and avoiding exercising 2 hours before you sleep. That way you can actually get to bed at a decent hour. Also, mindfulness-based stress reduction, or MBSR, can also help by looking at events that we often toss and turn and think about when we sleep, viewing the positives about them and becoming less stressed about them, which helps us sleep at night. Also, Catherine Lederle talks about the comfortable bedroom setting and how comfortable pillows, a cool room, a dark room, a noiseless room can help sleep, and how when we keep a mental or written journal about how we sleep at night, it can do wonders in ensuring that we get enough. Now, this is only half the journey, because implementing these goals and actually striving to keep true to them is what makes the difference. The reputable database WebMD talks about the many benefits of actually having a healthy sleep schedule, such as a clear and sharp mind, and that you perform better in athletics, it helps you process emotions, and it is the best medicine for avoiding sickness. Also, Colleen Ernstrom talks about how having a sleep log can improve self-accountability and self-reflection, but it's also important not to stress over the quantity and quality, but to more look at how you're sleeping, if you're developing any negative effects or negative habits, and to nip it in the bud if you are. Through all these studies and reports, we can see that the lack of interest in a secure sleep schedule is really important among young adults, and this needs to be addressed and changed in our society. Now, this is all on an individual scale, and we need to further educate ourselves if we want to really make the change, because it's up to us, and it's really in your own hands if you want to have a healthier life and avoid these negative effects that I listed. To conclude my speech, I wanted to call you all to action, to not only educate yourselves and research what would be best for your unique life and implementing an action that will help you sleep better, but also to be aware of what you can avoid when you have healthy sleep schedules. Now, the specific action I want to call you all to is to aim for the 7 to 8 hour goal 5 days a week, and to write a journal seeing which days you kept it, which days you did not, how you felt on those days, and what prevented you from reaching this goal. Thank you all for listening, and remember, you need rest to be at your best.